So January is new club month, so we have got the Ping G430 10K Max. January is the month where all the new clubs are getting released. We've already done plenty of reviews. We've looked at the Ping Blueprint irons, we've looked at the new Callaway Paradigm and the Cobra Dark Speed. Today we've got Ping G430 10K Max. Now, let's have a look at the club. So 10K is something that you're going to see with the TaylorMade QI10 and the Ping 10K. They are talking about the number 10 refers to the maximum forgiveness. So moment of inertia is the phrase, the buzzword, if you like, that's being pushed at the moment. And that means how forgiving a golf club is. So as the greater the moment of inertia, the more forgiving, but generally that means that there's a trade-off in ball speed. So what you're going to see is as the moment of inertia increases, the ball speed generally goes down. Ping are saying that's not going to happen. Now, they've brought out this 430 10K Max. So this is a midway through their product cycle launch. So Ping generally work on a 2-year cycle for their golf clubs. So the 430 coming out last year, this coming out after 12 months, and I wouldn't expect to see the Ping clubs change, or the headline clubs, irons and drivers change until the very back end of this year into next year. So a midway launch is a bit different, but it's not something that they haven't done before. If you think back to the G400 range, they brought out a G400 Max partway through their cycle on that one, which stayed current when the 410 was in place. So it is something that they've done before. Now the interesting thing with this one is that they've put the carbon across the golf club. So this is a mass market golf club, if you like. So they already do the LS Tech driver, which had the carbon in it, but that's got to be pitched at the better player or tour player perhaps. So this has got the carbon in it, and it is pitched at the mass market type of golfer. That said, it is something that's been used on tour. I know that Tony Finau is currently using this driver, and there's a few others. And it's interesting with someone like Tony Finau because he's a golfer that uses the hardest to hit irons, the Blueprint irons, and the easiest to hit driver in the 10K Max driver, and he used the G400 Max as well a few years ago. So he goes for the forgiving golf club. So it's not that this is going to be a golf club that isn't going to suit good golfers. It's going to fit everybody, assuming that you get the mix right. So as we put this club down, you can see that you can see the carbon across the top. You've got the traditional turbulators across the crown as well, which you've seen on all Ping clubs. It seems like the titanium sort of, or the top part of the crown, the metal sits back behind the turbulators, and then the carbon kicks in. So that area there, the Callaways, I would say that the Callaway's probably got a little bit more carbon in it than this. This is a little bit less. It is that sort of, and it's not a full wrap-around carbon like on some of the others. It's got a metal plate there. Now in the back of the club we've got a fixed weight, so that's not going to be movable, so you're not going to be able to slide it about into the toe or heel position to aid in shot shape, but that's, I assume that that's there to fix the MOI, because the moment that you move the weight in the back of the club, it does affect the MOI. So by leaving it in a fixed position, that's not going to be affected. We've still got the same sort of hosel setup that we've had in all of the other clubs, so shafts are interchangeable. And yeah, we're going to hit a few of these. So this is with the Cali 60 gram stiff shaft and a 10.5, and I've actually toned it down a little bit to 9 degrees to hit this. So let's hit a few shots and see what it's like. So initial thoughts are, as you put that club down on the ground, you can see that the back edge of the club sits quite away from the ball. And that's obviously that's increasing the moment of inertia. The 430 head looks a little bit more squat than this, so it's quite a sort of deep head with what is comparatively, in comparison to the sort of head shape, it looks like a more shallower type of face as well, just to my eye. Nice solid stroke. I mean, I use the 400 Max as my driver, and it is very, very forgiving. Now, Ping is saying with this golf club that much as you're getting that high MOI and the forgiving club, it's got to be able to control the spin rate, and that's got to be key to getting the distance. And you can feel there, mildly poor strike, a little bit out the toe, but still forgiving. Ball came off the club face nicely. One thing I'd say, like, it does feel nice. I'm surprised that Ping didn't put the carbon across the 430 across the whole of the range last year. So, you know, I think it's interesting that they put it in at the top end club with the LS Tech, but they're not through the other ones. But you know, it's obviously something that they want to. It's obviously something that, you know, for whatever reason they chose not to, and then they release this one with the carbon. So it might be something that you see in drivers moving forward, that they start going down the carbon route like a lot of other manufacturers. I mean, it certainly feels forgiving. I've hit a few shots over the last couple of days with it, and across the face it is forgiving. Now that's something that you're going to see all of the manufacturers talking about this year. Definitely with Callaway it was there. Points of forgiveness, and you know, different bits on the face where they're talking about speeds that can be attained. All of the companies apart from Cobra are talking about ball speed across the whole of the face. And they're not bad numbers, you know. It's not my quickest swing for sure, but the ball speed relative to that's fine. Spin is definitely lower. It's definitely under control for what is essentially a forgiving golf club. What you're not seeing is lots and lots of backspin and then that ballooning flight. So it's still going to get out there. And it's an interesting mix. If you can get a golf club that's really forgiving and you're still getting length out of it, that's, you know, that's what everybody wants. And they're not bad numbers, you know. It's not my quickest swing for sure, but the ball speed relative to that's fine. Spin is definitely lower. It's definitely under control for what is essentially a forgiving golf club. What you're not seeing is lots and lots of backspin and then that ballooning flight. So it's still going to get out there. And it's an interesting mix. If you can get a golf club that's really forgiving and you're still getting length out of it, that's, you know, that's what everybody wants. Okay, so my sort of thoughts on that drive, I really like it. Extremely forgiving, but that's what we've become accustomed to with Ping over, you know, the last sort of 10 whatever years. You know, their drivers are very, very good. You know, extremely forgiving. You are getting the distance. I'm not sure that I'm getting as consistent spin numbers across the face as what I did when I hit the Callaway. When I hit bad shots with the Callaway, it was a little bit more consistent, but there's nothing that I've hit that goes dramatically offline, which is great. So you're not hitting sort of dippers and horrible shots and getting weird flights out of it. It seems very, very easy to hit, very, very forgiving. So it's a good golf club. These are going to hit the shelves at around about the 529 mark, so they're going to be more expensive than the 430, and that's predominantly because of the fact that it's got the carbon in it. The LS Tech is the same, it's going to be at the same price point as that, with the 430 sitting a little bit cheaper. So, you know, if you're in the market for a new golf club this year, get yourselves out, get fitted, compare everything, compare all of them, see what works best for you. I'm going to be interested to hit the TaylorMade QI10 next. We're going to be doing a review on that and then put all of the new drivers together and see which one I think is going to be the best for 2024. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can see that. But if you want to see any of the Callaway reviews or anything that I've done recently, make sure that you check one of these videos out.